Welcome, welcome, welcome. I tell you, listen, I'm just super excited about life. I think life sometimes can be the most amazing thing ever if you have the right perspective. Thank you for joining Team No Excuses presents the Ray Lewis Show. Today, I'm telling you right now, just call me Sugar. All the rest of the entire show, Coach, when I bring you on, call me Sugar because it's a good day. And we need this type of day. We need this type of energy. But I'm going to tell you something about checking in. We're not going to have a guest this week because we wanted to kind of jump into something. And a lot of questions, I've been getting a lot of questions about, Tour de France and me cycling and the NBA championships and all of these things, right? And I'm watching the Tour de France, right? And this young guy who wins, right? Tarjei Projakar, something like that. I'm tearing up his name. I mean, horribly, but it's okay. The point is, he's so young, and you know the difference of him and everybody else. He said one line. He said, "My mindset." He said, "My mindset is what won me this race." And I'm listening to him, and I'm like, wow, out of all of these riders, and I mean, he's one of the youngest ones to ever win it back to back. But for this kid to do this, and this is what this is about, right? What is a champion? How do you walk in life and live as a champion every day of your life, right? And so every day I ride a bike, every day that I cycle, I realize that I have an opportunity to be a champion of that day, of that moment, of that cycle. And that's what we're going to get into today. Think about what just happened with the Milwaukee Bucks, right? I'm sure we have a lot of NBA fans, sport fans who follow this show. Think about the NBA, the NBA title, right? The Bucks go down 2-0. Everybody counts them out. The Suns is having the best time ever that they think the series is over. But when your mentality, when your mindset is already made up for a dogfight, it's a different outcome. And that's why when I watch Giannis, and I'm watching his interviews, I want you to remember something he said. He said 8 years ago, his mother was selling things out of their house. He didn't know the direction of where he was headed. 8 years later, most dominant big man to ever play the game. And if you watch his body transform when he was a young kid, when they first started with Milwaukee, had the worst record ever in the history, I think. And now they're champions. We have an opportunity to champion the day, to champion the moment. And to help me further this point, I want to bring in a person that has rolled with me for a very, very long time. And I am excited to bring him on. And Coach, get on in here because we got to talk about championship mentality. And this week on championship mentality, Coach, we're talking about the importance and benefits to planning your workouts. What's up, Coach? Talk to me.
Wow. How you doing, brother?
Hey, brother, let me tell you something. Every day is a good day for Sugar. Every day.
I love it. Every day above ground is a good day. But I tell you, man, you know this we talked about this even while we were giving our principles on championship mentality. Planning was one of those principles. And I know we've transitioned over to the body now. And so I'm glad that we're bringing this kind of like this same principle of planning as it relates to your body, your health, and your wellness. And to me, planning is simply the strategy written down to help you get to your results. Planning is the strategy written down to get you to your results. And we've all heard that saying before, a fool is better with a plan than a genius without one.
Wow.
But we need to ponder this thought. Do you know you could have a plan and not apply no action to it?
Wow. It's a broken promise.
Yeah. So although we can really talk about the importance of planning, some people have made the plans for their vision, for their mindset. And I know we're talking about the body, but it's so important that you include everything and understand the importance of it. Because again, just like we talked about prior, when you believe something, proof is when you plan it. So if you ask somebody to marry you and they say yes, or whatever the case may be, your next step is you start planning. If you like, we got a family vacation, we going to Disney, you got the funds, you got the resources to get there. When you believe it, you start planning.
Yeah.
So it's not good to talk about things that you haven't planned, that you haven't written down, because that question could be, do you really believe it?
Yes, sir.
So if you're writing down a plan for your body, say for an example, you need to lose weight. You can't write on there, I'm getting ready to run 10 miles a day.
Mm-mm.
You know, you need to write something on there that you believe that's attainable. So if you want to lose weight in your planning document, you got your plan for your cardiovascular. Yeah. You got your plan for your nutrition, your meal prepping. Yeah. You got your plan for sleeping. All these things have to be planned and written down in order to be successful.
But see, that's what's so interesting, right? Because when you plan, right, planning allows us to focus on our goals, right? When you plan it, when you write the vision down, when you make it plain, then you don't have to go back and wonder, right? So I'm just having this conversation with the kids, you know, because all them down here and we're training every day. And I said, how are you guys training every day when every day you're getting up asking me what to do next?
Oh, wow.
Right. And you know this. You're going to always be lost if you have to get up every day and you're waiting to go to a gym and waiting for your trainer to tell you what to do. You're already in trouble, because if you don't plan, there's no way you can focus on your goals, right? The number one thing, listen, and I'm just really in a good mood. I'm just freaking excited today because somebody has to get this. Like, you have to get this before you, and you just said it, Coach, before you talk about losing weight, before you talk about transforming your body, if you don't have a plan, that's why a lot of people, I want you to think about this. A lot of people that say they're going to do something, they say the same thing 10 years later and the same thing 5 years later. And nothing gets done. Why? Because there's no plan. And without a plan, let me tell you something, Coach. Planning, and you know this, one thing about planning creates habits. And those habits become a lifestyle. That's what transformed us. That's what forever changed me. I want people to take sports, right, and use sports for one thing. There's a goal in sports. Everybody wants to get to the championship. Everybody wants to win that championship. But every week there's a different goal, right? There's a weekly goal. There's a daily goal. But in the midst of that, you know what's created? A lifestyle of chasing something the rest of your life. And unless you have a plan, you're going to be chasing a lot of broken promises.
And again, I know it was written in the Bible, but we wrote down every last one of our workouts. Whatever our plan was, we knew the day before, the week before, because we planned the workouts for the week. We don't plan them day by day. We planned them for the week for over 15 years. So there wasn't 1 week that we didn't know what we were doing. And all those are in a notebook somewhere. And I can't wait till you pull out the vault and I get to see those again. But yeah, we wrote them down.
If you see them, you're going to cry. You're going to cry.
We wrote them down. I was thinking about my book that I wrote. This was an outline. It's old. But I wrote down 7 chapters.
Yeah, that paper look like it's wet too. Yeah, it's been through a lot.
Hey, the whole notebook's been through a lot. But I like to write. I wrote it down, man. And I had a plan and I executed it. And that manifested the vision. So again, the key to planning is to do it with execution. Okay, we might be past that point where we're talking about just planning and writing, man. You got to make sure you're not in that group that I got a plan, but I'm not committed to the plan that I've written on paper.
Yeah. When you walk into, if somebody hires you to create something, right, and they're waiting on you, the first thing that they wait on when you walk through the door is, what's the plan? How do we get there? What steps are we taking to get there? That's why, listen to me carefully. Structure is the stepping stone to progress. If you don't figure out a structure for our lives, let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you exactly what you're going to be doing. You're going to be checking everybody else's Instagram. You're going to be watching everybody else make money. You're going to be watching everybody else be happy. You're going to watch everybody else transform their bodies. And you're going to be in the same place year 1, year 3, year 5, and year 10. And you're going to be mad at everybody else because of what you didn't do. because of the structure. One of the things that you said, and it's so funny because the reason why I said that paper was wet, because all of my books, you can tell they've been used. You can tell they've been through a lot. But it's because of the structure, T, that we had. Coach, let me tell you something, man. I'm telling you, I just came from Silicon Valley and I had this huge speech out there, and it was absolutely amazing, right? Just being in the room with the 1% of the world, right? And you're in this room and you know that every person that's in that room, right, is very wealthy, right? When it comes to money, right? But one of the things that was easily noticeable is everybody had a plan. Everybody that got up on the stage was pitching a plan. And even some of them, I mean, one company got up there, and it's crazy, T, they was at 17 billion. There's hit 17 billion in 5 years, right? And he gets back up there and he's talking about how they had to redevelop their plan to keep up with their growth.
Wow.
Right? So now imagine how many times you have to redevelop yourself, right? Your body over and over. That's why when you think about the redevelopment of what we're teaching, that's why the first thing I started out is, what is the mind? What are you thinking about as a champion? What is a mindset as a champion? This is not about sports. This is about championing your life every second and winning every moment of it. Yeah, bro.
And the health is the number one. We talked about that last week.
Number one.
The greatest enemy of our destiny is bad health.
Bad health.
And so as we focus in on this body, just remember the plan that you've written, the vision that you have, it's a strategic planning. It's strategic. It's strategic planning. It's a laser focused effort to help you manifest your vision. And that's all it is. And all you have to do is be accountable to it. It's you versus you, baby. So as we go forth and we move towards the body, when you send in questions or people ask, I want to lose weight, Ray or Monty, I want to become more flexible here. If I ask you what's your plan and you don't have none, you may be coming to me for that service, but you still should have a goal and a plan written down. And again, example, we're talking about the body. If you want to lose weight, what's your plan for cardiovascular? Is that walking? Are you swimming? Are you cycling? What's your plan for strength training? Because you got to do that as well. Okay. Do you have dumbbells at home? Is it your own body weight? Yeah. And the most important part, your nutrition. Do you have your meals planned? Do you have them written down? And boy, when we go to work every day, you got to make sure that you prepare with that meal, because if not, you get hungry, you'll make a bad decision at a restaurant or something like that. Or if you're going somewhere where you're not prepared with your meals not being ready and available for you. So all that is planning. So the worst thing to do is be ready for the workouts, be committed in your mind, and you don't know what you're going to eat because you haven't planned it.
Oh my gosh, Coach, listen to this. So I'm watching the Olympics, right? I'm watching the trials and I'm watching everybody getting ready for Tokyo. And listen to what one of the sprinters just said this. She said, everything that I do, me and my trainer, is already mapped out. So the lady asked her, she said, well, what do you mean? Can you tell us a little bit more? She said, everything I'm going to eat for the next 10 days is mapped out. My sleep is mapped out. My if you understand why an Olympian has a plan, because an Olympian cannot show up in the Olympics without a plan. Right? You can't wake up every day and go to your job without a plan, because if you go to your job without a plan, your job will one day become the reason why you don't like going to work. That's the difference of your purpose and a plan. Right? Because your purpose, let me tell you something. That's why today was so good, because what I'm trying to do with us on this show is I want us to reset to every time we have to redefine what the moment is. We've taught a lot of principles. We've given a lot of principles. But now when you start going into the body, I don't want you to go into the body and just think, oh, this is a casual thing. I can just go into it and I can change. No, you have to be so serious about what you want to do. And I'm going to give you a practical thing to think about. Me and this guy sitting on this call right now, we trained so hard throughout my career, but we have something else really big that's coming up. November, we're going to do a huge camp. We won't disclose where yet, but we're going to do a huge camp. And before we get to the camp, listen to me carefully. Before we get to the camp, we had to come to each other to say, bro, are you ready to do this one more time? This is why we said that, because we know when you say that, everything changes.
Yeah, especially with the mind. Yes. So I'm excited about it. You know, you cycle, you work out. Yeah. Our workout is just our lifestyle. But along this journey, man, you got to switch it up. Sometimes you got to increase the intensity. Sometimes you got to give more effort. Some days you got to work smarter than work harder. Yep. But we know we got this big thing coming up for our group, man, in November, and people that really share in the same principles that we're talking about as it relates to championship mentality and mind, body, and spirit. In November, we know we're going to be doing some workouts. Wherever we meet, we know we're going to do a workout. And so why not make it a good effort, a good plan, a good goal to be in one of the best shapes of your life? So that's where we're accountable for each other. And so, again, self-accountability is first. Self-accountability. Remember,
self-accountability.
Remember, before you make this plan to become healthier, understand your reason why.
1,000%.
Understand that without this body is over.
Let me tell you my why. Coach, let me tell you my why. Let me be straight up with my why. My why is the reason why I'm finna get right, because I know somebody at the camp gonna try me and they gonna think that they in better shape than me, and I'm gonna tell them at 46, I still got it. That's what I'm gonna tell them, Coach. Oh, I know what my why is. Get your mind.
That ain't gonna never change. That's the one thing about developing good habits, man. I'm telling you, once you get into this routine of just doing something every day, at least 5 times a week, just doing something, one push-up, drinking more water, walking a little bit further, going to bed, getting more sleep, cutting off that eating time at night. I'm talking about small victories.
Small.
Boy, they add up and they all are part of the plan. But as you go forward and you get your workout on the day, or, maybe tomorrow's your day one, maybe you're going to use the day to document and make a plan. Just remember this, your health depends on your mental state.
Wow.
And that's why we went over all those principles for the last 3 or 4 months, because you're going to be grabbing them during this working out process. Oh, I need to be resilient. I don't need to quit. Oh my goodness, I need to manage my time more effectively. Wow, this really is me versus me. I'm not competing against this person at the gym or whatever the case may be. You're going to need all those principles that we outlined on your journey to becoming, getting your body healthier. So just remember, it depends on your mental state. And that's key.
This is so good. I'm gonna round up in a minute, but this is so good. This is why. So I get so many questions about cycling, right? And let me just dive into it real quickly. So we have this huge ride, and they do this huge ride, 75, 80 riders. And I've been staying away from the ride, because one of the principles that I've been practicing is becoming consistent. Listen to this. It's becoming consistent, right? In what I needed to do every day for me to get better, not to ride with a group. How can I get better consistently going out on my bike, read my plan, read my mission? And let me tell you what I learned. And I'm telling you, it's a breakthrough. I learned when I went on my bike by myself and I was pedaling, and I heard the tour and they said, these guys was going 85 kilograms. And that's 53 miles an hour, T.
Ooh.
Bike. See, that's 53 miles an hour on a bike, Coach. Can you imagine a human being can make a bicycle go 53 miles an hour? I'm on my bike. And I asked myself, what was the most important thing to even try to get to 53 miles an hour? It wasn't pushing harder. It was being consistent with my stroke. Mm-hmm. It was that simple. It was something that small. And so as I'm starting to pedal, I'm like, That's how they're saving so much energy. They're not pushing. It's a consistent cycle, just like the cycle of life.
Yep.
Whatever you become consistent in life, you become consistent with feeling what the pain threshold feels like. And when you get to that point of consistency, you understand one thing: now I can stay here. And that's when you know you're growing. That's when you know you grow. And I'm telling you, it forever changed my life. And now they better be careful. I may join the Tour de France in a year or two. I'm not playing.
Slow down, Sean.
I know, I got to.
Oh my God, that's funny. But you know, you do it, man, and it gives you passion. You can hear it in your voice. And so there are a lot of people that's like, I'm getting ready to work out. I need to lose weight, but I hate running. Then do something that you're more passionate about. It might be dancing. It may be, yeah.
Yes, sir.
It don't have to be hardcore. You better make this some fun, some passion for you so that you can keep doing it, so you can stay consistent. If you hate running, after the first week, after the emotion is gone, after all the feelings are gone, you're not going to do it because you hate it. So do something that you love that can help you get towards that goal. That's a major tip there. Major tip for those. And also, please take this with you when you're working out, because it's going to be a lifestyle for you. They're going to be ups, they're going to be downs. Some days you're going to fail. Most days you're going to be graded. You're going to be accountable. But celebrate those small victories along the way. Wow. Don't try to be perfect all in one moment. If you know you need to cut back on sugar, maybe it's hard for you to just stop completely with sugar. So what do? Get your sugar from fruits. Make smart decisions to work your way through it and to wean your way off of things. Because if you're just starting, there's habits that have gotten you to this point. And it's going to take some habits to get us out and to create great habits for us. So I just emphasize to all our listeners and to everybody out there, man, celebrate those small victories. You know what? I'm not eating pork no more, but I'm eating such and such. I'm not eating this no more, but I'm eating more vegetables. I'm drinking less soda, but I'm drinking more water. Just keep it going till one day you're like, I don't need it. And then once you see how your body responds, you're not going to stop. But stay consistent. You know, you may not lose 10 pounds in 1 week. That may take a month. Stay consistent. Be encouraged.
Let me go a little further. Coach. Because you got the plan to fail, Coach. That's the only reason. That's the only way we did it, right? If you planning to go complete your working out, you ain't working out.
Yeah.
Right? You have to plan to fail. When you go in the way, I hate training. That's why I told them what I'm telling them. I hate the mode that we about to go back into. You know how militant that is, man. Do you know what we go through when we go through that? People think that we're weird when we go through that. But that's what I'm telling you. It's a mindset, because when I walk in the gym, I'm not walking out the gym saying, oh, I'm going to walk out of here feeling good. I'm not. I'm going to walk out of here broken. But I'm broken. I piece myself back together.
But because you know you broke down those muscles and you know the result that's coming, we're able to endure it. And we learn to fight through the pain. Now, one workout was created for us to finish.
Not one.
All workouts were created for us to fail. So at some point, depending on the level you are, you got to be okay with failure.
Every day.
But boy, when you know what's on the other side of failure, it's growth. It's growth, it's transformation, it's all those things. I want you to think about this, because somebody may go for a 15-minute walk tomorrow, but they could probably go at a faster walk. They could walk briskly. But just know your body really adjusts to any type of negative situation very well. When you go to the gym and those weights are there, the big guys, when we had to put down all those weights, you have to lift heavier. You have to break the barriers. If you don't, your body don't grow. It's almost like the same way with life. The more you go through stuff, the stronger you become. So with this working out, this body is amazing. I mean, it's got its own healing system. If you give it a chance, it was fearfully and wonderfully made by the Creator. All we need to do is keep it moving and give it a fighting chance. So
see, that's why I use him as my trainer, because you see, he always give you the practical sides of things, and he give you the technical side. But this ain't technical. This is, you got to get it. See, the mind, you can kind of get away from the mind, and we don't know if you're practicing these principles or not. But I'm gonna tell you, take this before picture of your body, take it from the front, side, and back, and ask if you fail every day. I promise you, there's glory on the other side of it. The only thing that follows work is results. That's it. That's it. And it's not the results of going and work out two times on Wednesday and Thursday and then walking in there hoping you lost 3 pounds. Man, that kills me when I hear people say that. Oh, I lost 3 pounds today. And who cares? The point is, there's an opportunity to plan what you want to get done. Mm-hmm. Look, today was super special because we wanted to reset. Right? Because a lot of times when I have guests and stuff, it's a lot of information to download, even for myself. But I'm telling you some things that I've been practicing. I've been practicing patience. I've been practicing just being consistent on little things that I was not born to do, right? I'm not getting paid to cycle. A lot of people say, oh man, you was getting paid to play football. I'm not getting paid to cycle. So somebody asked me this question just yesterday. They said, what makes you keep going every day? Because I like failing. I like finding my best me. I like, my girl asks me all the time, every time I get off the bike, the first thing she say, ooh, I can tell you just get off that bike. I can tell you just get off that bike because my energy different because I just failed. And I'm like, I went so hard. I'm telling you, I ain't got nothing left. She always say, your cheekbones showing, your cheekbones showing. I said, you don't. I say all the time, I get off that bike, I say, I saw Jesus twice. I thought I was coming home. I thought I was on my way home. But I kept fighting.
Hey, but also, and I know we talked about it briefly last week, the benefits of working out. That's it, you're talking about the fail and how hard it is. You get that, but immediately following that, man, is those endorphins, those feel good things. If you're depressed, the first thing they try to recommend is that you do some type of exercise, doing something different, moving around. Yeah. And so it's beyond you getting big or losing weight or getting a six pack or whatever the case may be. It's really about your earthly assignment on earth. Everything that we talked about with those principles for your mind, now we're on principles for your body. They are all things that help you live a good quality of life.
That's it. And that's why we do it. Coach, let me tell you something, brother. You're a blessing. And that's why I love the way you slow things down and bring it back to reality. Because you know sugar.
Everybody going out there, they just starting off and they trying to do 50 miles on the bike day one.
Try 50. Try 50. It'll teach you something.
See that we never really had a lot of arguments, but when it comes to these type of programs, we talk about it. Ray, like, okay, we're gonna start off with a challenge. Let's get everybody to do 200 push-ups a day. Hold on, man. I train thousands of people. Do you know how many people could do 100 push-ups? Not many. I try to tell them, y'all, hold on, Lou. Everybody following us ain't getting ready to do 1,000 push-ups tomorrow.
Well, Coach, listen, first of all, I forgot to say this. Congratulations for 3 years in a row winning Trainer of the Year.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Man, thank you. Man, that ain't small. That's like Giannis just holding up that trophy. Man, another trophy. We got another trophy, Coach. We got another.
Man. God had blessed me, man. I won America's Favorite Trainer for the 3rd year in a row.
Third year.
This year under the strength training category. And it's on a platform called Burn Along. And they have like over 300 now trainers across the country. And every year they vote. And this year I was blessed. I won it the last 2 previous years, won it again. And I dedicate all that, man, to my philosophy. You want to lose weight? Great. You want to gain weight? Great. I win it because of the clients and the people. It's beyond their weight loss or weight gain goals. They become better people.
That's it.
And that's what I attribute it to. So I give God all the glory, man, from the projects. If you number one in anything, that's a good thing. So I'm so honored for God that he would use me. When I told him, look, I give up on Monte. You take over, Lord. And I said, what is my purpose? And he said, what is that you do every day? I work out. And that was over 20 years ago, and I'm still doing the same thing. And so I hope that can encourage somebody, man, because whatever you were born to do, you have it on the inside of you. Just plan it, work it, do the execution, pray, go back, refine it, redevelop it, and keep moving, man. This thing is a journey.
It's a journey. Coach, congratulations again. But we're not lowering the standard. 200 push-ups is what we're going to talk about. I'll call you later and we'll discuss it. But that's not bad.
Take care.
I love you.
Love for life.
It's moves today. I love getting these silly moves because me and this guy, we go at this all the time. He always say, "Shug," and people can't do that, Shug. And I say, well, I remember the first day we ever got on the ad wheel, seriously. And he could not do one rep on the ad wheel. I'd never forget it. And now the reps are incredible. So it's not about the number. It's about the execution of every rep. I tell my sons all the time, stop rushing through reps. Stop worrying about the number. Give me the quality. Today is simple. Today is about really understanding and writing down your plan for what you want to do with your physical side of life. We have a choice. We are losing the battle when it comes to health. I'm just transitioning because sometimes the pain hurts so bad you gotta smile, but you know it's better for you. I'm gonna give you a few takeaways, seriously, because it forever changed kind of how I see cycling, how I see training. Definitely at 46, Coach 53. So when we're talking about transforming our minds to go back at this one more time, if you all really knew what that meant for us, that's a lot. Because I'm not in my 20s or 30s no more. But numbers don't define you unless you look for numbers. See this, and listen to what I'm saying. When you look for numbers, people say, "Oh, I've done 100 push-ups." How many you done right? See, it's irrelevant to do 100 if you don't do it right. I walk 3 miles at who pace? I mean, it's easy to walk 3 miles and texting and looking at Instagram and all that stuff at the same time. I watch more people training and got their phones at the forefront. Man, I ain't got time for my phone when I'm training. Every time I get on my bike, every part of my team knows, don't bother him on his bike. I'm not answering no call unless it's an absolute emergency, because I'm trying to be consistent in making sure I'm okay with taking care of my body. We have a choice, but I'm gonna tell you something that may be the realest thing I heard early in my career. Rob Wilson told me something that forever changed my career. He said, taking care of yourself, that's your duty. It's nobody else's. And I will never, ever forget how hard I saw that man training. I'm 23 years old at the time. And I saw this man do something. And I asked him a question, why do you train so hard? And he said, it's my duty. And from that day forward, I've never looked at training the same again. And now I'm gonna put it back on somebody else. It's your duty to take care of your body. But make sure you write down the plan, right? We always tell you this. This is one of the principles. Write the vision and make it plain. This journey that we're about to go on, we wanna see the before picture and the after picture. And we're on the same journey with you. And if you happen to end up where we're gonna be in November, we're gonna all share these pictures. And you're gonna see that the only thing that follows work is results. God bless you. Thank you for joining the Ray Lewis Show. Absolutely no excuses in life not to become better every day. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Walk by faith, not by sight. Always choose love over hate. And remember, it's your duty to take care of you. God bless you.